So, if you're ever feeling bad about my life, know that you have the power to change it. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Jovin. I am currently 25 years old. I'm gonna turn 26 and I live in New York City. I live and work here. If anyone's ever feeling bad or crappy about their life, I know that, I felt that, and I know not everyone is willing to let go of everything because everyone has their own responsibilities, right? Whether it be financial, family, or even your own personal reasons. It's not that easy to get and go from a job that you don't like. But this is my story in a sense where when I feel so strongly, I'll just get up and go. I've always heard like my colleagues saying they're so tired of their job, they don't want to do this, it's not worth it. But then there are also the same people who continue working at the same job that they hate and they don't want to be there. And I'm always the person who's like saying, just get up and go. Just get up and go. Like, if a place does not serve you purpose because of the boss, because of your pay, because you don't feel an attachment to be there, like, get up and go because there are other places there that are waiting for you. There are other opportunities out there waiting for you. So, what are you doing? Please, please. It's kind of like a cycle nowadays, right? Because if you go to another place, you're scared that it might be the same kind of conditions. But I quickly realized that every place, every workplace that you go to is not gonna be perfect. There's always gonna be that cons. You can't ever find a workplace that is absolutely perfect, that suits all of your needs. Just like you're trying to find a partner, right? There's always cons to it. You will never ever find a perfect 100% to the T tip top condition partner, just as you will find a perfect workplace. Always cons, but you just gotta balance it. Like, what's more important for you? Is it work-life balance? Is it your salary? Is it the kind of culture that you work with? Is it the people you work with? Which is more important for you? And that is something you need to decide for yourself. For a long time, working in my industry, I've always thought that growth and learning was the utmost important. But the downsides were always that I did not have any work life balance at all. I was working like, I would say like at most 12 to 14 hours per day, 6 days a week. I do not know how I went through that, but it was really, really tough times. It's a good opportunity overseas, right? But you know, even though I had so many benefits, I didn't feel happy at all, honestly. I never felt so miserable in my life because I only had one day to rest every week. I was still working around like at least 10 to 12 hours every day. I was just so lethargic. I was tired. I just wanted to rest every time. My productivity was so low. I could feel like I was burning out so fast. Even though I learned a lot, now when I look back, that was absolutely crazy and I would never want to go back. I've I don't think I've ever felt truly happy. I've never truly felt happy working. I think the tipping point for me was at one point, like, I don't know if this is too much information, but I'm okay to kind of share it. But I think kind of like my tipping point was the time where my family member passed while I was overseas, and at that point I was like so into and manipulated into my job. My boss only gave me 2 days to I still remember that to this day. My boss only gave me 2 days to attend the funeral, and literally after the cremation of my family members, yeah, I had to go straight back on the plane back to my workplace, and I didn't even have any time to mourn, and I had to get straight back to work and face everybody. And I remember that night where everybody left, I was still doing my work. Like, I freaking bawled and cried. Like, I wish it was. There were other things that happened, like me getting into health problems, or like me getting terribly sick and not being able to, like, I wasn't able to only specialized team member, and there I wasn't able to just let go of my responsibilities and have someone cover for me, because apparently they can't run on their own. I couldn't take sick leaves, like even important things that you should be given the right to. That was out the window. That was my tipping point. That was my tipping point. Even though I have so many opportunities, that was my wake-up call. I was like, I'm done. I'm done. Like, it was changing me into an entirely different person, and I felt like I just lost all respect for myself at that point. Like, how could I be manipulated to a point to think that, oh, all of these outweigh what I treasure the most, which is my family and also my health, my life. I felt like I hated the city because I didn't even have time to enjoy the city. So it always brought back bad memories for me, and the only time I got to love the city and love my life was when I quit. And that was so sad, right? But what I want you guys to know is that I'm living in New York right now. I'm living in New York City right now, and I've never felt happier in my life. Technically cannot work over a certain number of hours per week, but even if you work over the stipulated amount of time, they have to pay you overtime, and they kind of don't want to do that, so they kind of keep your timing in check. And even if you're working overtime, you get paid. The thing is, in Asia, at least in my industry, you don't get any overtime pay. Like for events and such, where you need extra time to do preparations and fork out extra time, you don't get paid. You can still, like report it, but it's not really well spoken about. I feel like it's just the Asian culture, like you just do your work and you don't complain kind of thing. That was kind of like my atmosphere at that point of time. It was really extremely difficult to even like talk about unhappiness or talk about what you're not feeling, what you don't like, because they don't care. Truth is, they don't care. Like, at least the workplaces I worked in, not happy, they'd rather you just leave. But then chances are, if you go to another workplace, especially in my industry, you'll just encounter the same kind of boss. I have met really nice bosses before, just that I didn't like to work in the workplace because it didn't give me much growth. There it is, like maybe you have a very nice environment to work at with nice bosses, but maybe you don't have much opportunity of growth. There is always pros and cons to every workplace. You can't have the best of the both worlds. I would say to a lot of my peers and my friends, have the courage to do what makes you happy. and don't regret it, because don't regret it. Don't listen to your friends' advices and then regret it, because ultimately it's your own decision. For me, I like to listen to myself and what I feel is best for myself. Sure, I will go to my friends and be like, I'm thinking of going to this place, and that place to start work. But they'll kind of give me their advices, whether it be good or bad, saying like, this place is not good, you shouldn't go there. But ultimately, I still took the choice to follow my heart. And actually, it turned out pretty okay. You can take people's advice with a pinch of salt, but you should always follow you think is the best for yourself, because you don't want people to help to judge your life, and then if it screws up, you're gonna be like, oh shoot, like shouldn't have listened or should have listened. I feel like if you made the decision yourself, you'll be less likely to regret it, have any resentment built, because it's yourself. You made the decision. No matter how miserable the situation, never ever regretted any decisions that I've made, major decisions, small decisions I've ever made in my life, because ultimately, even if it's a bad place or a good place, I took something out of it and I built myself more from that particular situation. So I've never regretted, because I've learned lessons from bad places. I've learned lessons from good places. So it's always something to take home with me. To you guys is that if you're really so unhappy with your life, just change it. Get up and change it. The only person that can change your life is yourself. And if you don't do it, no one will help you. Don't go out and complain to your friends, because I feel like you already know the answer for yourself. And it's, you need, of course, you need some courage. And if you have the ability to do so, do whatever makes you happy. Prioritize your happiness first. Thank you guys for listening, and hope you have a great one. This has been Gotta Talk. In the next one. Bye.